Okay, so in the series of giving away the PiStorm, we're going to start with a blank board and end up with a full board. Now this one here, if we get it in focus, this one comes from the factory, and this one's going to come from me. So we're going to give this one away. We're going to build it. There's a half-built one. But yeah, the hardest bit is basically getting the capacitors and resistors on. They're quite small. We'll start. Okay, so I've taped this down. We're going to use some, if I can get it in the camera, type of solder. So it's easy to work. We need flux. And we'll start with the main chip, I guess. They call it the CPLD. I guess it's like an FPGA, but with different letters. But what it does, it does convert the instructions coming from the CPU socket into a format. Look at all this lovely smoke. We're just gonna, you see, you can change the color. You see where I've been or where I haven't been. I'm gonna try and avoid getting any solder into these holes. It makes a pain in the, pain to remove. But yeah, we just want nice circular motions. Look at that big blob of something. Got tons of solder on the iron, and if you've got enough flux, you'll just go over the top, and you'll probably, the grounding pins are the ones that tend to sort of clean that soldering, clean the iron off, and then just trying to see from a distance. So what we'll need to use is a magnifying glass, and we'll locate that. Okay, well, we can do something like this, but I'm going to have to get in there and see what's going on and make sure we've got a nice coating of solder on the surface. Okay, so looks like there's enough coverage. Next step is to stick on our CPLD. Just a matter of finding one. Okay, so here is the CPLD. And that's the, you can find them quite cheap everywhere, but the official ones may be more expensive, or this is the official one, I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. They all work the same and they have similar markings. So the tricky here is actually to line it up perfectly. And to do that, we're going to have to use the microscope kind of thing. Make sure that all the pins are exactly aligned, and that means exactly. Okay, so we've see if we can zoom in. So we made sure that everything, of course you got to make sure that the dot matches that little dot in there. Trying to get the contrast up a bit, and it doesn't seem to like it, but get the gist. Is we have to be really on the money when it comes to these. You know, make sure all 4 corners are lined up. And we can add some more flux on top of the pins and just run the soldering iron until we see that all the pins are down. So yeah, now I'll try and run the soldering iron. I'm just going to balance the camera so I can just look and see what I'm doing on the screen. So yeah, you basically want to go along each little pin. It's probably not being done properly because I'm doing it from a distance, but the idea is to flow the solder. A little bit of solder that was, you may have to add some more, but for purposes of demonstrating how it's done, I'm going to go sort of, you can also run along those, like, so you can, this kind of thing where you run along, you can run along the little groove. I can't see what I'm doing too much. Let's try and zoom in. There's a sort of limit to how far this phone camera will go. But yeah, also push down on the chip as well if you want, to make sure that you're making good contact. But yeah, it requires going in with the double checking all the connections. So I guess the next step is to brush on some flux onto the next pads and give it a similar treatment. Which is just to add. Okay. So we're back to putting the solder on these other pads. And, paying attention not to fill any of these holes because they're a pain to empty. So be careful when you get to the edge and don't go too close to the fire. Same here. Just want to make sure we coat all these things. It takes a few passes to get it to stick on all of them, and try not to apply too much pressure. Just want to glide over the top and get it to stick. Go over these little capacitor pads as well. Makes it easier later. So, see, we missed that. The grounding pads get progressively harder to stick on. There's 4 layers to this board, and there's a lot of copper in there, and it takes a bit. We'll do these ones all at it. I'll leave these to last because they're a bit spread further apart, the easiest, so there's a bit of a relief. And then the voltage regulator, you need one, you don't need this one. You need a voltage regulator here, a couple of capacitors, a bit larger ones, and then also you need a little 0 ohm fuse type resistor. So I think we've hopefully got enough to at least get a start. Okay, not too much there. We'll clean that off. Okay, so these are the next ones to put on. We need 4 of them. And these can be quite expensive, I think. About $1 each, I think. So we'll place them. Again, importance is to line up. Line up on, if we can get it in focus, you can see that, oh, sticky, lovely sticky, messy flux. Just trying to work out the exact. So there you go. Just doing it through the camera. Getting in focus if I can. So I'll put it backwards, you see. It's one thing, need to be careful of these pins as well. They're very easy to bend. So at the same time, they can handle a bit. Now we can see that our dots are lined up. You see? So we've got the right orientation. Okay, we'll line it up and we'll just solder it in a second. So we can't do it from this distance, but we'll do it. Okay. So we'll got it focused now, you're getting the idea of the alignment issues. If I can just get it from this angle. It's created these ridges now with the solder, tend to fly off, and the stickiness tends to be the issue. So yeah, so I'll see it like you'll see end up with some blobs sometime. The best way to get rid of those blobs is to really add some flux. Make sure your iron is dry, and you'll be able to just suck them off like that. And then just got to make sure that that iron is clear. There might be one on this side as well, I think, and can't really see it from this position, but we'll see if we can zoom in. Yeah, you'll see there's you can just get these, see, you'll be able to just drop them off. See some more stuck in this corner here, so just gently want to move it away from where it is. There it is. We just sort of tap it off. You basically pull it off, and yeah, we'll try again. I'm doing it from a distance, so not be very successful, but it was. And then you sometimes you'll end up flicking onto the other side, so we'll get the excess solder off and continue. Yeah, so remember when I said don't fill in the holes? Well, I've started filling them in, but that was bad. I've already emptied a few of them. You just have to go back and get your Wikipedia out and empty the holes. It's just part of the fun. Remember, I am giving this PiStorm away. Or if you don't like this one, I'll get you a different one. You can choose to have the homemade ones or the factory made one. They seem to work the same, exactly the same. So at least this one will have a lot of solder on it. So remember, the trick is to flow the solder, so lots of flux. Okay, and of course you can have too much. Hopefully you can see from this side. So it's pretty much a question of just lining up. Little tack on a pin, just tack it down, and where are we? Oh, where is it? Why can't I see it? There we go. So the idea is to, yeah, just tack it down. Tack it down, then I'll spin it round. Okay. Just trying to get it. Looks straight, so throw some solder under there. It'll doesn't appear to be too much solder on the pads, so we're going to add a little bit of solder on here and just move it all across. A little smidgen on the end of the iron. Apparently there's solder fountains you can get and blah blah blah, but who's got time to get solder fountains? So it looks like we're all pretty much tacked down, and we'll try, I can see where I am on the opposite side of the, here we go. It's always further away than you think. So let's have a look here. There's a bit of solder on the pads, not too much. It's not enough to satisfy me, so tack on a little bit more. Yeah, a bit more. Just make sure we've got a little nice and coated. I probably couldn't see any of that because the angle. This angle. Okay, we'll pause that. Okay, so we've got to do U2. Okay. So yeah. See it in the camera. Hopefully you can see from this side. So let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah. So it's pretty much a question of just lining up, little tack on a pin. Just tack it down. And where are we? Oh, where is it? Why can't I see it? There we go. So the idea is to, just tack it down. Tack it down, and I'll spin it around. Okay. Trying to get it. Looks straight, so throw some solder under there. It'll doesn't appear to be too much solder on the pads, so we're going to add a little bit of solder on here and just move it all across. A little smidgen on the end of the iron. Apparently there's solder fountains you can get and blah blah blah, but who's got time to get solder fountains? So it looks like we're all pretty much tacked down, and we'll try. I can see where I am on the opposite side of the. There we go. It's always further away than you think. So let's have a look here. There's a bit of solder on the pads, not too much. It's not enough to satisfy me, so probably couldn't see any of that because the angle. Try this angle. Okay, we'll pause that. Okay, so got to do U2. So yeah, we can see it in the camera. So let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah. See, it says it's U2. It's not New Year's Day, it's feels like Groundhog Day when it comes to putting this sucker on. Damn. Not sure whether. Okay, that looks straight. So the usual. Just give it a bit of some blocks. Go along them. Go along them again. This probably won't do because probably not enough. But yeah, I'll pause it again. Okay, so get rid of that fan sound. Okay, if you just joined us, we're building the PiStorm. We're giving away the PiStorm after we build the PiStorm. But let's get through the first part which is getting all the ICs on, and some needs to be fixed down. Line up one of the pins. Just got to make sure it's probably covered the camera up, but pretty much to the one side down, just so yeah, let's see how that looks. Yeah, center it a bit better. So the fan's still running, so that's not going to be good. As soon as we get so yeah, so we'll get that and we'll have a look. Okay, so what we can see here is we've got these all on. Next step is we'll put on these very, very small capacitors and resistors. Okay, so we've got to place these. Where am I? There you go. You can see that little capacitor just went flying. Never find it again. There's another one. Put it down before we lose it. Just to give you a comparison of the size. I'll put it on my finger. So that's the little capacitor. But yeah, if we can hold it with the tweezers, we can solder it on with the soldering iron. Let me pause. Okay, I think we're on. And misplace these. Okay, here we go. So hopefully we can pick this up on camera. We're going to just... The pad's already coated with a bit of solder, so one side's down. Just double check. Yeah, you can see it. Again, grab it with the tweezers and do the other side. There's another one here. Okay, let's sort of sit there and go back with a little touch. A touch of solder here. This one should be fine. We'll try this one. Sometimes the grounding plane is hard to set. Yeah, we're out of focus. Okay, so we'll just try and get a few more in. Okay, so the idea is you want to have a little dot on each pad before you start these capacitors. So you can see this has got one's missing there. It makes it a lot easier because the ground, especially the ground plane on this, it's very difficult to get enough heat on that little surface to tack it down. So you see, notice here that they're all missing a little dot, so we'll add them now. Okay, so I'll see if I can give a good example. So I just go over at the big blob, make sure that there's enough solder there. So yeah. So if we can, I can grab another little capacitor. Oh, just dropped it, but we picked it up. We caught it. So I'm not sure about the flickering and stuff, and you can see it there.
In harmony, retro beats forever, just you and me. Raspberry dreams blending old and new. Emulate the magic, watch the world break through.
So yeah, that's pretty much what you do. And then go around the other side, and I'm gonna have to add some solder to it sometimes because there isn't just enough there. And just give it a little dab. And it's like, there you go. Beautiful. A bit more flux and a bit more. Basically, we get enough flux there. So if we can we get it? I need glasses to see this. Oh, it's very oily. I can't get. Maybe. What, can this do this? Yeah. Soundtrack bumping ain't the way we gonna quit. You get an idea of what's. Okay. Okay, we'll do a bit of a camera setup so I can see what I'm doing, and we'll basically, if we can just line it up. Yeah, I mean, that's the idea. You just hold it, warm it, and then it sort of sits there. But you're not going to see anything, all this kind of reflection. But we'll see if I can get. Missed it. This distance. From this distance it's hard. In fact, I've got no idea what I'm doing. I've lost the capacitor. Okay, so we've got all the capacitors down in one way or the other. Some down here as well. Come on. So what needs to go on next is 2 resistors here, another resistor here, which is like a short resistor, it's like a fuse, and another one here, R5, needs to go in. We only need 1 voltage regulator, which goes here, 2 capacitors. And then that'd be all the components, and then we'll just need the pins. Right. So, let's see whether or not we can do this via camera. Okay, we got them. So we've got it basically line above where we've got these well, that was how it's supposed to happen. Spin it around. That's what I like to do. So we're dealing with, yeah, that's where you want to put it. So it's just a matter now of we've soldered one side down. There we go. Find the right thing. So there you go. We'll see it. So that's what we soldered now. Now look, they're all a bit wonky. This one here looks like it may not be down. Okay, so the last little component is this one. We'll try and give it a... You'll notice that we haven't put anything on these little pads. Now we have something. Get our tweezers and grab our little thing. A bit difficult from a distance. There we go. We sort of grabbed it from a bit, and we'll get to the front. No. Sort of filled in a hole here as well, which is not cool. And our little resistor is stuck on the iron. That could have stuck, I guess, for the purposes. Yes, it's stuck. So I'm gonna grab it again from this side and go on the end, and yeah, so this concludes this part. Now we're going to spray some isopropyl cleaning stuff and give it a good brush. We'll get to see, get rid of all this grease and see whether we need to do anything better. This really breaks down all that horrible grease. everything's stuck down, it should be fine. Okay. First impressions. Give it a dry. Gonna dry it down. And whoa. Yeah. First impressions look like everything looks okay. So yeah, we're just going to put the voltage controller down now. Okay, so we've got everything sort of tacked down. Looks good from a distance. We still need to put the voltage control on, so let's get that. Okay, I haven't glued this down or anything, so we'll solder on there. It should be done. Okay, I'll do the rest. One. way too much solder, but who cares? The more the merrier. Now the heat sink part of it. Give that a good flooding. Sorry, out of camera. There you go. That's nice and toasty. Okay, capacitors next. A whole heap of solder here we don't need. We'll put some flux on there. I'll get rid of it. Okay, so we're up to the bit where we're going to put the pins in. So we've cleared out all the holes, we hope. Line up the pins. And there we go. And that's a matter of soldering these. We probably can start doing. No, it's up to you. I mean, I think they're pretty thick pins, so just dab them with some flux. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the corners first. Something like that. And from this distance, oh, it's a bit too much. Soak it up. It's okay. This next thing we do is check to see whether it's all sort of lined up nice and flat. Now sometimes the board is a bit bent, so we want to make sure that sort of this on a flat surface you can push it down and make sure that it's stable. And bounce it a bit, whatever you like. The important thing is to solder all the pins up. So that's what we'll do. So yeah, just a little bit, not too much. You're going to find that the ones that attach to the ground are notoriously difficult. Again, you want to try and avoid filling in the holes behind you here. So yeah, proceed as you go. If you get too much solder, clean it off. Okay, so I guess we are now well on the way. A few little straggly bits, but the last step for the hardware part anyway is to put in the Raspberry Pi header. solder that in place. Okay, so we've got the header lined up. We've tacked it down. Make sure all the pins are nice and okay. Alright. Okay, I guess that works. Arm stretch. Okay, I'll do the rest of the fan on. Okay. So, get some light in here. We've put the header on. Everything is in its place. Just snap off these excess. Line it up right. Start there. Same with this side. Left one extra. Okay. Snip that plastic off if we need to. It just snaps off anyway. So we have the hardware part done. Now we'll need to flash the CPLD with it's got a firmware on here that we need to flash. So we're getting towards the end goal. So I've soldered everything on, and now we're going to flash the firmware onto the CPLD. There's a few different firmwares you can choose depending on your setup. Ideally, you want the fastest one, I guess. But to get on there, we need to actually plug it up to a another Raspberry Pi. It can be the one you're going to be using. You don't have to have it in the CPU socket. You just need to connect them together, and then connect up a HDMI cable. So we'll do that. Okay. Okay, so that's the upside down looking Raspberry Pi with the PiStorm attached, and we're going to put in a USB keyboard as well, and then we're going to make sure it's the right way, and then presto with a red light, and then on the screen there's some writing. All this writing. It's going to do all its thing without interrupt it. Keyboard cables. Okay, so this is pretty much just a CPU login, but what I need to do is I've got the emulator running, so to kill it, so it's 418, so kill 418. I have to do that first, and this is actually just a Raspberry Pi system that the instructions I'll link where I found them, how to I can just link the whole image. How about that? That way it'll work. So then CD I've got them all in here, the latest ones that I could find, and I guess all we need to do is, if I've done correctly, type flash.sh, and then it looks like it did it. So yeah, next thing to do is to plug it in. Okay, so we turn back to here because we've got a bit of a red screen, and I've noticed that you can't really see it here, but it's not attached. So I'll fix that. See how this comes out. So yeah, if there's any failure points, it's usually these ones here. There's so many pins, so many rows and rows. This one's a bit easier because you can see them clearly. I'll clean up a bit more. Dry them off. Trying to get the pins caught. Got to be a bit more careful now that everything's put together. You don't want to. That's alright. Okay, we'll try it again. Remember, this is the one we're giving away, and you can't identify it because I think there's a scratch there. Yeah, so that's the one. You'll go back in the videos, you'll see that. Okay, so success. Second time round. So sometimes you've got to go over those pads, especially if ones aren't even connected, which was the case in that one. So there's the board in there. I have to didn't insulate it either, which is bad. But can you see what's yeah, well, it's in there now. It's working, and that's the one. This one here. This whole thing. Going to give it away, and you have to go to the link in this video where I announced it, and just subscribe and comment, and you're in the chance. Okay, and it's going to be the 30th of June 2025, so if you see this video later on, it's probably past, but there'll be something else probably to give away. So yeah, and the last bit, I guess, is to see what kind of juice you can get from a little Pi Zero system, and you'll be surprised to know you get a lot of speed. There you go. So that's what you get if you comment, subscribe, like, whatever you want, you'll go in the chance, but you've got to click on the video in the link in this video.